Throughout the 1980s, most of the state's aggression was unleashed on the black youth of the country. In 1986, 26,000 people were detained. 40% of those were 18 years old or younger. At least 1,298 people died in political violence in the same year, a third of whom died at the hands of security forces. Young Benjamin Oliphant was constantly on the run from police. In December 1986, he was betrayed by a police informer. He was arrested. When his family went to look for him at the Clarkstor police station, they were told that he had already been released. On their way home, they saw something which made them suspicious.
At Uraniaville, there's a spur crossing that is between Jobetina and Klerksdorp. They were in the taxi on the right-hand side, and the police van was on the other side. When they peeped through the window, they saw a person in this van, and they realized it was Benji. His face was swollen. They came home running, and they said, "The police told us they've released Benji, but we saw him in the police van, and his face was swollen."
Two ministers who were close to the family informed them about his death. At the mortuary, police prevented them from going inside to identify his body. They were only allowed to view the head of the corpse through a window.
Through the window, you could see Benji's head. It was swollen. You don't know what was this protruding from inside his nose. You couldn't see whether was it the mouth or the chin, because it was just mixed up. His head was so swollen you could compare it to a head of a calf.
Cornish Makanya was arrested with 14 others in Lichtenburg in June 1986. He was 18 at the time and involved in student politics. He was taken to the police station.
They took this machine, connected these two cords. They put them on my head, over my hair. They poured water on me and put on this machine for a long time, and I continued to refuse talking. Another boy said to me, "This kefir doesn't want to talk. We must just kill this kefir." They took these two cords. They put them on my private parts. After they put these cords on my private parts, they put this machine on. They put on this machine. I got torn underneath.
Sicelo Dlomo was a bright young activist, well known in Gauteng in the 1980s. Police were hunting for him long before his death in January 1988. His mother, Sylvia Dlomo Jele, began to fear for his life. But it seems that Sicelo too had a premonition about his fate.
I was referring to his father, said, "My father, be strong. It may happen that I will die. I want you to know that whatever happens to me, you must be strong, pick up my spear, and continue my struggle." I was very sad. I was very upset. When he told me about his lack of security, I said, "Just this tonight, sleep here at home." And he said, "You won't like to see the police killing me in front of you. So it will be better for me to go somewhere else so that you can only find my corpse, but not see them killing me." And he left home. And the following day, a police arrived at home. I could feel it. I could just sense it, that my child was gone. Because the police came with his pocketbook. I said to him, "Have you killed my son?" The police said, "Why are you saying such painful things?" I didn't kill him. I just heard people saying there's a young boy who's dead under a tree. I went to see this boy, and I found this pocketbook on him. And this police asked me to accompany him to see where the body was. I didn't agree. I didn't want to go with this policeman. I knew they'd killed him. There's a gentleman who's our neighbor. He took me by his van. He took me to where my child was lying. He was full of blood all over on one side of his head. He was lying there. I told myself that was it. That was the end. He told me that this is what he was telling me, that I must always expect.
We carried out.
The names of some policemen keep coming up during the commission hearings. This is Warrant Officer Joe Mamasela. He has already confessed to having been part of the murders of 3 Port Elizabeth community leaders and Durban lawyer Griffiths Mkenge. He was mentioned again by the relatives of 3 Mamelodi men who died in 1987. Jacob Make, Andrew Makope, and Harold Sefolo's bodies were packed with explosives and blown up by members of the hit squads. This week, the widows of Sefolo and Mokape and the mother of Make told of how the disappearance of their loved ones changed their lives. Mrs. Sefolo first heard about her husband's death when she read the newspaper City Press in January this year.
I would like to tell the Truth Commission that there's a man who arrived called Mamasela. I've also read that in the 28th January newspaper. Mamasela said he took him at Witbank. They took him to some place which I can't remember because I don't have the paper with me. And he said they tortured him and cut off his hands. They shot him and blew him up.
For Shoki Make, sister of James Make, knowing her brother's killers is not enough. She wants to meet Mamasela face to face.
We would like the commission to help us of showing us Mamasela to come here and explain to us where did he kill this person, and the little property that they're still keeping of him, they must bring them to us. Would also like to rebury him so that we can also be able to go to a cemetery, to a grave of our loved one, like other people. We don't know if it's really true that they killed him. We don't know if he's alive or dead.
Andrew Makope regularly visited his brother in exile in Botswana. A friend of Andrew, Queen Skosana, was with him when he was abducted. To date, no one has been able to trace her.